Hey everybody, Acre Love Homestead here. I wanted to talk a little bit about our weather situation we had on, was it Friday night? So Friday night, they called for a really bad storm. So I live in Texas, and typically our really bad storms in my area where I live, they're mainly winds and, some hail sometimes. This time we had a tornado, and that tornado was about 20 minutes one way from me, and then it passed about 20 minutes the other way from me. So, needless to say, my area, my homestead, was kind of right in the middle. Um, Luckily, we didn't get that much damage, but compared to others, we were really blessed. Other people in our community, they've lost their house completely. They've lost roofs, they've lost chicken houses, they've lost, some people's donkeys are missing. Like, those winds were massive. So we live, kind of more in the country area, and we don't have tornado sirens. All we have, is whatever we have on our phone. So we had no clue really that there was going to be a tornado actually be on the ground 20 minutes from me. That was pretty scary. We do, like I said, we do get the massive winds, the 80, 90 mile an hour winds. And that's pretty much what we had got that night. Like I say, we're blessed that, we had minimal damage. It was, a couple of plants broke, a couple of containers flipped over. That was it. But other people, like I say, there's one lady who, unfortunately, she passed because of the situation. Um, I don't know how I really feel about being around a tornado. It freaked me out. So we told everybody, get in the closet. We're just going to get in the closet until it passes. Luckily it passed. And, like I say, we just had to hunker down, guys. That's kind of made me feel a certain way about things. Um, I do want to have a storm shelter built. Um, I need to talk to some people and see how much that's going to cost. Because I would like to have a storm shelter. That's going to be one of the main things that we can do, to keep us and bring us to safety. Um, but I'm going to take y'all around and kind of show y'all. I mean, like I said, we didn't get a lot of damage. It was, more like plants being turned over. I had a couple containers turned over. It's like a 55-gallon trash bucket, but not a lot of damage. Um, all we can do is pray for those that are going through, their issues right now, and hopefully everything gets back on track. My son's friend, at his house, they live on an acre, and they have, a yard full of trees. And she told me that now all she sees is sky. There's no trees. So it literally blew them just completely down. So they went over and helped, thankfully we could go over, and help them get all that, cleaned up and stuff. Here, there still are people here that still have no lights, no water. Like, this affected us pretty well. I think they're considering it a disaster zone. So hopefully we have a Red Cross out here right now helping some of the families. Some of the churches are helping people, stuff like that. But yeah, we had a major incident. It put a lot of things into perspective for a lot of people. Let's just hope that their insurances cover what they need to have covered and helps them. But let's go. I'm going to show you. I'm going to walk y'all around the garden. This is not a garden tour. This is just to show y'all a little bit of the damage that we had got, and it's not very much, and I'm not really worried about our damage to our garden. Um, it'll be fine. Like I say, we now are fine. But let's go walk around, guys. Um, so like I say, with the winds that we had, I'm really surprised that none of these tree limbs broke. That chicken house right there, I'm surprised that whole thing is not blown completely into the neighbor's yard. Um, I'm surprised that, what was that? I don't know what, something's going on. Um, so that trash can that's there was blown over. The bucket was blown over. I'm surprised all my ducks hadn't flown into the neighbor's yard. You know, I'm surprised that my chicken cages that I have over on that side, we'll get to that in a minute, So I have 4 cages here now. I'm surprised that they weren't, you know, completely just blown away. I don't know, you know, it was pretty bad. But luckily, like I say, luckily Jesus was with us and we didn't get any major damage. Let's go look at, because we got hail too. It did hail. It was like probably like nickel size high hail, but it rained really hard. Like this whole area, it was just saturated. When I would walk out here and here to go feed the pigs, I would just sink into the ground in my mud boots. And you can see here the potatoes, they're not standing pretty no more, and they're actually uncovered some. So I need to come out here and get me a bag of soil or something and just kind of cover this area again for the potatoes. And the onions, clearly the onions, they are, you know, they got some damage to them. You can tell here where it just, you know, broke it in half. Excuse me. But the onions got damage. Those got some damage. See, these over here, they got damage too. And no, I do not have rights to the music that's in this video. The neighbor behind me is playing music apparently. This one got damaged. See how it's came kind of unrooted, so I need to get out here and stand this back up. This one was a piece of it broke in half. So, I mean, it was, you know, like ours is just minimal damage. Luckily, all the animals have shelters they could have went into if they, you know, I'm sure they did. And then in the front garden, I had just a couple of plants just blown over. That was all that was blown over in the front. But I just wanted to tell you a little bit about that storm. I'm going to try to find some pictures to kind of show y'all kind of what happened around here. And I really do think that a storm shelter is going to be a really good idea if I can afford one. Right now, I'm going through some health issues that I've been, you know, slowly trying to figure out. We're pretty sure I know what's going on. I just got to go see another specialist, and then we'll know for sure after that. My bees are fine, thank goodness, and my bees are fine. They're still standing. The wind was just massive. See, okay, so here you can see where the hail was hitting. Here. It was hitting everywhere. But the bees are fine. You know, I have them nice, and that bar that's on top of them is probably about 25 pounds or so. It's heavy. It's a big metal bar. I checked on all of our neighbors. They seem to be, you know, they seem to be fine also. Everybody was okay. But when you get winds like that, and it's really scary when you get winds like that. I still need to get on the roof and see if there's any roof damage. I'll probably do that this weekend. I've been kind of busy. I've been going with my husband. What? That's a butterfly. I've been going with my husband to the Pokemon shows, and so I've been trying to help him do that a little bit, and I've just been a little bit busy lately. And we're still waiting, you know, for gardening season to kick off really well. All my plants are doing really well, you know, other than what happened in a storm. But everybody under here was fine, and I need to get underneath here and clean up. Just a whole nother story. These guys are going to be going out pretty soon. These are the cuckoo marrons, and then my little Easter egger in here. They're going to be going out in that middle pen that's out there that I just put out there. So they'll be going out. And if you didn't believe me or not, I just mowed. Like, this is, okay, so I just mowed. Let me get you back. I just mowed. And yeah, I need to mow again. This is a little ridiculous. The last time that we had got a really bad storm like that was years ago. But it actually flipped over my big dumpster. And this time it didn't, so I don't know if it was full of more stuff or what, but it didn't flip it over this time. I was really surprised. I'm going to take y'all over here, just to the big garden. See, I'm surprised none of that little tree, so my little peach tree here, you can see her, that one, right there. She was just a waving in the wind. I figured she had been uprooted but she wasn't, which is kind of nice. And then over here, all of these, the big garden got some damage too, to the leaves, the squash leaves, but these guys didn't really get any damage. And you would think that, and I think it's because it had these on there, but they did pretty well. I had a couple of jalapenos that were uprooted. They were more down that way. They got, because they don't have this thing on top of them. So they kind of got uprooted. You can see here, little uprooted. Todd, no. These jalapenos were actually laying over, completely laying over like this because of the wind. Todd, come on, let's go. But that's I mean, that's, like I say, when I say minimum damage, I really mean we got minimal damage, you know. But that's, you know, that's just kind of what happens. You never know what the wind, what the weather is going to do. You can't predict the weather. You know, Mother Nature's going to do whatever she wants. And that's just kind of what happens sometimes. But unfortunately, others suffered more than others. And our community is pretty small. So they tend to flock together and help each other out, you know, whenever people need help. I offered our friend to come and she could stay here if she needed to, or they can come and take a shower while they have no water. You know, whoever needed to do what they needed to do, I offered that. So, I just wanted to give a little bit about what happened with the Texas storm, a Texas tornado. So I live in Springtown, Texas, and that's where it happened. It happened 20 minutes one way, and then it happened in Azle too. Azle is the one, or Runaway Bay is the one that got the most damage. I'm pretty sure going out towards Jacksboro, not too far out, but it's kind of right in here, right off of 199. Everything happened off of 199. And, you know, we're 5 minutes from 199. So one way it got hit, another way it got hit. And wherever it hit, it did damage. I think they wanted to call it an F3. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. But it was pretty big. But we're safe, guys. I just want to let everybody know that we're safe. We'll continue doing our videos. And, you know, Lord help everybody that has had damage. You know, we're praying for everybody. So, but y'all stick around, guys. Like and subscribe, hit the notification button. And, you know, we will actually be doing a lot more gardening videos. We're coming along. Something else is fixing to change on this homestead. Another one of our cows is actually going in freezer camp on Friday. Because eventually I'm going to be extending my garden this way. And the chickens are going to have that side. But like I say, guys, like and subscribe, hit that notification button, and God bless, and we'll see y'all in the next one.